Hey, what's good, everybody? What's good, everybody? What's good? What's good? What's good? Hey, man, it's so good to see everybody out there, man. This is your boy, AK Harrison, and you're here with me and Chat GPT, and we are doing a little something different today, man. We are really doing something different, man. Um, look, yeah. I like the way that one rock right there, man. Um, I am with my new best friend, Chat GPT, and let me tell you, homeboy is amazing. Let me tell you, I'm serious. I'm serious, man. If you've ever been using Chat GPT, if you have been using um AI, things of that nature, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm talking about, man. It is the latest rave out there, man. We are testing out some new things with AI, seeing how far it can go, seeing what it can do. And let me tell you, man, look here, bro. It is absolutely phenomenal, man. I'm serious. It is absolutely phenomenal, man. So this is what we're gonna do. We're gonna go ahead and have a conversation with ChatGPT in real time. In real time, man, because I've been saying that, hey man, you are my best friend, dog, and I just like the way you do things. I like the way you've been moving out here in these streets, and we're gonna cover a few topics, man. Some topics that I near and dear to my heart, or that's been in pop culture. Let me just say it like that. One is politics. Okay. Well, let's go ahead and put the title on in there too. Yeah. One is black fatigue, one is politics, and the other is relationships. We know that y'all love talking about relationships, man. So we're gonna go ahead and get on into that, man. All right, man. We're gonna go ahead and get right on into it, dog. So let's go ahead and introduce ourselves, man. Go ahead and chat GPT, can you hear me?
I sure can hear you loud and clear. What's up?
Hey, how you feeling, man?
I'm feeling great. Thanks for asking. How about you? How's everything going on your end?
Man, everything's good. Just out here trying to make some good content. You gonna help me make some content?
Absolutely. I'm here to help. Let's make some awesome content together. What kind of content are you working on today?
Um, I'm gonna cover three topics, man. I'm gonna start with black fatigue, and then we're gonna get into politics, and then relationships.
That sounds like a great mix of topics. All right, let's dive into black fatigue. Then we can tackle politics and finally wrap up with relationships. Where do you want to start with black fatigue?
My man, my man. So, what do you know about black fatigue?
Black fatigue generally refers to the exhaustion and stress that comes from dealing with ongoing racism, discrimination, and microaggressions. It's that feeling of being worn out by the constant need to navigate and respond to systemic issues. It's a really important topic to shed light on. What angle did you want to cover?
So, who's more geared towards black fatigue? Is it black people? Is it African Americans? Is it white people? Is it just an overall topic that's just came up? Where did it come from? The origin? Help me out.
Black fatigue primarily refers to the exhaustion experienced by Black people and African Americans due to systemic racism and discrimination. It's not something that typically applies to white people in the same way. The term comes from the lived experiences of Black communities dealing with these ongoing societal challenges. So it's definitely rooted in the experiences of Black individuals.
Okay, so is black people really getting um fatigued
It sounds
with the other black people? Is that what it is? Is that what you're saying?
Black fatigue really refers to the exhaustion from dealing with systemic racism and discrimination,
Mm.
not necessarily from interactions with other Black people. It's about the societal pressures and challenges that come from living in a world where racism still exists.
Okay. All right. I like that so far. So far, so good, man. What are your
Awesome.
thoughts? What? So, if you had to put an origin on black fatigue, where did it start? Where were the first rumblings of black fatigue?
The concept of Black fatigue really stems from the long history of systemic racism and discrimination that Black people have faced over generations. It's been discussed more in recent years, especially as awareness around racial injustice has grown. So it's really rooted in the long-standing experiences of Black communities.
Okay.
All right, let's keep it going. What's the next direction you want to take with these topics?
Hey, man, so far so good, man. You're doing great, dog. Let's talk about black fatigue on TikTok and YouTube. Are you familiar with any conversations with the black fatigue on TikTok and YouTube?
Yes, Black fatigue is a topic that's been discussed on TikTok and YouTube. Some videos explore its meaning and impact, while others discuss how the term is misused or misunderstood. For instance, a YouTube video titled, I actually wish more people had Black fatigue, delves into the subject.
Okay. So you know what? Let's try to pull up a video of black fatigue on TikTok. Let's see what we got with this right here, man. Okay. Let's see.
On TikTok, videos about Black fatigue have been shared by creators like.
Hold on, main man. I got you.
Sounds good. I'm here whenever you need more info or help with your content. Just let me know.
All right, here we go. We about. Can you hear pretty good?
I can hear you just fine.
All right.
What's on your mind?
I'm about to play a video. We're gonna react to it in real time.
Black fatigue, or ghetto fatigue, is a real thing, and no one's staying silent about it any longer. No nationality wants to be involved or bothered by this loud, obnoxious group of people. No one, not even hardworking Black Americans. I mean, I'm telling no lies here. Everywhere that group of people go, chaos follows. And no matter where you go, they're there. You can't go on a cruise ship because they done ghettoed it out. Have you seen the Carnival cruise ships? It looks like a fucking barbecue. And if you haven't noticed, it's always the same group of people. You know, loud, bonnets, pajamas, big ass eyelashes that flutter. You know, the EBT crowd. I mean, it's gotten so bad that you won't catch me at a Juicy Crab or a Cheesecake Factory or even a McDonald's for that matter, because they turn those places into shooting galleries whenever someone that looks like them look at them wrong. They have mastered the victim card. Everyone's against them. There's oppression everywhere. And it's always the white man's fault, never their own. But let one of them tell it. They would have you believe that the police is the most dangerous thing within their communities. Wrong. You're the most dangerous thing in your community, which is why the police are there in the first place, to stop you from committing genocide against your own people. Look, no one's going to stay silent to this toxic behavior. And you can call me all the Uncle Toms that you want. But the fact that you're calling me that shows me that I'm saying something with facts. And you wonder why most good black people move out of those communities as soon as they reach success. It's because they want more for themselves. And that crab in a barrel mindset is not conducive to prosperity. There is absolutely no accountability in that community. Most of that segment hate accountability. They hate truth. They hate to look at themselves in the mirror because they would have to face the fact that they're causing their own oppression. You also have the Democrat Party to thank for spoon feeding that behavior, making you a permanent underclass, and you still vote blue no matter who. But America is tired, and people have grown numb to your constant cry of racism. Everyone's a racist who doesn't agree with you. But meanwhile, you can be bigots to everybody else. But yes, I say it again. Black fatigue or ghetto fatigue is real. And it's time that we say something about it. And please, don't waste your time. If it don't apply, let it fly. Fatigue or
All right. So, what are your thoughts on that, Chat GPT? Give me some feedback, man.
That video definitely has some strong and controversial opinions. It's important to approach these kinds of topics with empathy and an open mind. There are definitely different perspectives and experiences out there. It's always valuable to have respectful discussions to understand these complex issues better.
All right. So, he was saying how the Democrat Party.
It sounds like he had some strong opinions about the role of the Democratic Party in certain communities. It's definitely a complex topic with many perspectives. It's always good to have open and respectful discussions to understand different viewpoints and experiences.
I see you kept it kind of PC there, man. Could you give me a deep dive on how he may think that the Democrat Party is helping, I guess, feed the black fatigue narrative?
Sure, from his perspective, he might feel that some policies or approaches by the Democratic Party could be contributing to a narrative of dependency or a lack of accountability. He might believe that certain policies create an environment where individuals are not encouraged to take personal responsibility. It's a complex issue with many sides, and it's important to consider multiple viewpoints to fully understand it.
But we do agree that black fatigue is a real thing for a segment population.
Yes,
Good, good, good. Go ahead.
glad we're on the same page. If there's anything else you'd like to explore or discuss, just let me know.
Hey, man, let's get to the next video. You're doing great, dog.
Awesome. Let's do it. I'm ready for the next video whenever you are.
black fatigue or ghetto fatigue is a real thing.
Nah.
You know, more and more black people are starting to speak up. They're starting to speak up on the community. And I don't blame us because we tired. See, what a lot of people don't understand is that there's a huge difference between regular black folk and ninjas. Let me break it down for you. Ninjas want to stay in their horrible environments. They have no self-respect and no self-control. They go around unaliving, essaying, stealing, robbing. They don't care about each other. They don't take care of their neighborhoods. And they definitely don't take care of themselves. They don't care about their appearance. They outside loud and obnoxious. Bonnets and mink lashes, extremely long fingernails, sagging pants, smelling like an overwhelming odor of marijuana. And of course, they the victim. They still complaining about something that happened 400 years ago, way before their time, way before their parents' time, way before their great-grandparents' time, way before their great-great-great-grandparents' time. Need I go on? And then we got regular black folk. We take pride in our community. We are hardworking, ambitious individuals who definitely want to be segregated from all that nonsense. Our demeanor and our appearance speak volume. We understand that there's a time and a place for our behavior. And most of all, we respect one another. We are not victims. We are the ones without our black card. So yes, black fatigue is really real.
So, what's your thoughts on that video, chat?
That that video presents a strong distinction between different groups within the Black community. It's a complex and sensitive topic, and it's important to approach it with empathy and understanding. Discussions like these can really benefit from open dialogue and multiple perspectives.
Hey, and that's why we're doing this thing, Mr. Chat. So go ahead and add. Do you have anything to add to it?
I think it's great that you're opening up these conversations. One thing to add might be that it's crucial to listen to a variety of voices and experiences. Everyone's perspective can add value to understanding complex issues like this. So keep the dialogue going.
So let me ask you this, man. Um,
Sure, go ahead. What's on your mind?
are white people, are they um in the conversation with the black fatigue?
Black fatigue typically focuses on the experiences of Black individuals dealing with systemic racism and discrimination. While white people might not experience Black fatigue themselves, they can definitely be part of the conversation by listening, understanding, and supporting efforts to address these issues.
All right, man. Sounds good, man. Um, you ready to get into politics?
Absolutely. Let's dive into politics. What specific topic or angle did you want to cover first?
So who's the current president?
As of now, the current president is Donald J. Trump, who
Mhm.
took office on January 20th, 2025.
Okay. So far, is he a popular president amongst the people? How is his rating amongst the people?
As of now, President Trump's approval rating is mixed. Some polls show around 48% approval, while others are lower. After his first 100 days, his approval rating was about 39%, which was noted as one of the lowest in decades. So overall, public opinion seems quite divided.
Okay. If you were a gambling man, GPT, uh, would you say that Donald Trump is doing a good job?
Well, I'm not really a gambling man, but I can say opinions on Donald Trump's performance are pretty divided. Some people believe he's doing a good job based on their priorities, while others strongly disagree. It really depends on who you ask and what metrics you use to measure success.
Okay. What priorities are we speaking of? And go ahead and tickle my fancy, sir.
Well, some folks might prioritize economic growth, job creation, or tax policies, and if they see positive results there, they might think he's doing a good job. Others might focus on social issues, healthcare, or international relations and have a different view. It all depends on what issues matter most to you.
Okay, so let's go ahead and go with those three topics you said: economic growth and tax issues and social issues. Um, is he doing a good job according to the people? Yes or no? Give me some feedback if you can, and some news articles, please.
Public opinion on President Trump's performance is quite mixed. Recent polls indicate that about 41% approve of his handling of the economy, while 48% disapprove. Regarding tax issues, there's a proposed bill to extend tax cuts, but it's raised concerns about potentially increasing the national debt. On social issues, opinions are also divided, and some economists have expressed concerns that tariffs could harm the economy.
Oh man, tariffs is a good conversation, man. Um, how are we sitting with tariffs right now? Good thing, bad thing. Where are we as far as tariffs and the country goes? Let's go.
As of
Now, the U.S. has significantly increased tariffs on imports, bringing the average effective tariff rate to about 17.8%, the highest in over a century. President Trump has also doubled tariffs on steel and aluminum imports to 50%, to boost domestic industries. However, these tariffs have resulted in higher consumer prices and economic uncertainty. For example, industries that rely on aluminum are warning about increased costs for canned goods. Additionally, the International Monetary Fund has downgraded global economic growth forecasts, citing the impact of these tariffs.
Man, I see that there is a tariff on steel. Do you mind listening to this video with me?
Sure, I'd be happy to listen along and discuss it with you. Let's check it out.
All right, this is from CTV News on TikTok. Let's go.
A
All right,
25% increase. We're going to bring it from 25% to 50%, the tariffs on steel into the United States of America, which will even further secure the steel industry in the United States. Nobody's going to get around that. So we're bringing it up from 25%. We're doubling it to 50%. And that's a loophole. And by the way, I have to tell you, I believe that this group of people that just made these investments right now are very happy, because that means that nobody's going to be able to steal your industry. It's at 25%, they can sort of get over that fence. At 50%, they can no longer get over the fence. So congratulations to everybody and to you for making a great deal. You just made a better deal, right?
So, what's the purpose of increasing the tariff on steel?
The purpose of increasing tariffs on steel is usually to protect domestic steel producers by making imported steel more expensive. This can help boost domestic production and protect jobs in the steel industry. However, it can also lead to higher prices for consumers and other industries that rely on steel.
Give me an example of some of those industries.
Sure. Some of the industries that rely heavily on steel include the automotive industry for making cars and trucks, the construction industry for buildings and infrastructure, and the appliance industry for products like refrigerators and washing machines.
Would it be a good idea for those companies to absorb costs or pass the cost on to consumers?
It's a tough call. If companies absorb the costs, they might face lower profits and potentially cutbacks. On the other hand, if they pass the costs on to consumers, prices go up, which can affect demand and inflation. Often companies try a balance, absorbing some costs and passing some on. It really depends on the industry and the competitive environment.
In your opinion, what would be the ideal choice for everybody to win?
Well, the ideal scenario might be a balanced approach where companies find efficiencies to absorb some costs while also innovating to keep consumer prices reasonable. If the government provides support for industries adjusting to new tariffs, it could help. Ultimately, a mix of strategic planning and policy support might be the best way for everyone to move.
All right, sounds good, man. That sounds real good. We're going to go ahead and go to the next video with politics.
Sounds great. I'm ready for the next video whenever you are.
All right.
Let's dive into some more politics.
Are you familiar with NBA Youngboy?
Yeah, NBA Youngboy is a popular rapper known for his prolific output and emotional raw style. He's got a huge following and is definitely a big name in the music scene.
Okay. Do you know a song, a popular song by NBA Youngboy?
One of NBA Youngboy's most popular songs is Outside Today. It was a big hit and got a lot of attention. Definitely one of his well-known tracks.
I actually like that song. My neighbor used to play that song every day when I used to live in Jacksonville.
That's awesome. Outside Today definitely has that catchy vibe. It's funny how music can bring back memories like that. Jacksonville must have been a cool place to live.
Man, I love Jacksonville. Great weather year round, good food, pretty women, great beaches.
Jacksonville does sound like a fantastic place. Great weather, good food, beautiful beaches. It's hard to beat that combo. Glad you have such great memories from there.
Yeah, man. So back to NBA YoungBoy. Do you know the lyrics to Outside Today?
Outside Today has some memorable lines. The chorus goes something like, "They say I ain't even tripping. You know that I'm about to get it. I ain't going outside today." It's got that catchy hook and his signature flow. Such a popular track.
And it got a good bounce to it too, right?
Absolutely. It's got that infectious bounce that makes you want to nod your head along. Definitely one of those tracks that just sticks with you.
It does, man. So NBA YoungBoy, he's into politics. Donald Trump had gave him a pardon. Are you familiar with that?
Yes, President Donald Trump did pardon NBA YoungBoy, whose real name is Contrell Galden. He had been serving a sentence for federal gun-related charges, and the pardon allowed him to continue his career without those legal restrictions.
Hey, man, let's go ahead and listen to a video about the pardon. Are you ready?
Sure, I'm ready. Let's check out the video about the pardon and see what it's all about.
Let's go.
Desperate and pathetic need for publicity, and Contrell Galden. Donald Trump just pardoned a slew of convicted criminals, and one of them might be your favorite rapper. You probably recognize 25-year-old Contrell Galden, better known as rap icon NBA YoungBoy. He's one of the most streamed artists in the world with millions of followers across social media. At the same time, he's also a convicted felon who was facing nearly 2 years in federal prison. Last year, Galden pleaded guilty to federal gun charges. In a separate case, he avoided jail time by paying a fine after allegedly helping run a drug ring out of a pharmacy. In total,
Wow.
NBA YoungBoy was serving a 23-month sentence. That is, until this week, when he received a presidential pardon from Donald Trump. In a statement posted to Instagram, the rapper thanked Trump for what he called the opportunity to keep building as a man, as a father, and as an artist. And he's already making plans, announcing a 32-city tour this fall called MASA, short for Make America Slime Again, a play on MAGA. Trump's team has not released a full list of his most recent pardons, but this one has gotten attention for obvious reasons. Presidential pardons are rare and usually reserved for the final days of a term. Trump has broken with that tradition, and countless others, handing out reprieves to a reality TV couple, a former governor, a gang leader, and now a rap star. Critics say these moves are obviously not about justice or the rule of law. Instead, they are clearly motivated by a desperate and pathetic need for publicity and an incredibly stupid political strategy. Whatever you do, don't be fooled by manipulative politics like this.
Man, so what are your thoughts about him giving a pardon to NBA YoungBoy for clout? What's your thoughts on that?
It's definitely a move that gets a lot of attention, and people have different opinions about it. Some might see it as a way to connect with a younger audience, while others might see it as a political strategy. Ultimately, it's a complex issue, and everyone's going to have their own take on it.
You know, I really do think that it is an attempt to reach the younger voters, like the next generation of voters, whenever the vice president is up for election, whenever he decides to run. That thought that, hey, this guy, he had pardoned, or this administration, they pardoned NBA YoungBoy and Larry Hoover. This is a cool administration. What's your thoughts on that?
That's a really interesting perspective. Pardons like that can definitely shape how younger voters see an administration. It can create a connection, especially with fans of those artists. It might be seen as a way to appeal to a broader, younger audience. It's definitely a strategic move that could have an impact on future elections.
Will a move like that hurt his vice president and his administration moving forward?
It could go either way, honestly. It might strengthen support among younger voters and those who appreciate the pardons. On the flip side, it could also face criticism from those who see it as politically motivated. So it's a bit of a gamble, but it could pay off depending on public perception.
All right, man. You doing so far so good, man. You doing great, man. How you feel?
I'm feeling great, especially since you're enjoying the chat. I'm here to help, so just let me know what you want to dive into next.
Let's go ahead and get with some relationship videos. I love relationship content. That's where we are. That's where we are. I believe that we're looking for some answers as far as relationship goes, like between man and woman. What's your thoughts on that?
I think it's great that people are looking for answers and insights into relationships. Communication, understanding, and mutual respect are so important. Every relationship is unique. It's always helpful to share and learn from different perspectives.
Hey, you're so open-minded when it comes to relationships. Like, you're very PC, man, as far as you're pretty positive, aren't you?
I try to keep things positive and open-minded. Relationships can be complex, so it's always good to approach them with a supportive and understanding mindset.
Have you ever had your heart broken before?
I don't have a heart to break, but I can definitely understand how tough it can be. Heartbreak is a really human experience, and it's something so many people go through. I'm here to help with any advice or support you might need.
Have you ever had your spirit broken?
I don't have personal experiences or feelings, so I've never had my spirit broken, but I'm here to listen and support you with whatever you're going through.
Have you ever had a girlfriend?
I haven't had a girlfriend since I'm just a virtual assistant, but I'm always here to chat about relationships and offer advice.
I got to see where your head's at, man, so let's go.
I'm ready. Let's dive into whatever you've got in mind. What's next?
All right, let's listen to this young lady on TikTok. And she's very beautiful too, by the way, so let's go.
Being so defensive. So, ladies, you might not like what I'm about to say right now, but I need for you to listen. Ladies, stop being so defensive in your relationships and start listening. And when I say listening, I don't mean listening with the intent to debate. I mean listening with the intent to understand where your partner is coming from. See, ladies, a lot of times when our partners try to sit us down and talk to us about things that they don't like in the relationship, things that we're doing that they don't like in particular, we automatically go in defense mode and give every reason around the world as to why we're doing what we're doing, instead of listening and empathizing with them and understanding their perspective. Also, ladies, when we don't listen or when we get defensive, other things trickle down into the relationship. Emotional distance being one of them. Our partners feeling like they don't have a safe space to come and communicate, or even our men avoiding us altogether or avoiding difficult conversations for fear of arguments instead of resolutions. So, ladies, instead of automatically getting defensive when our partners come and talk to us, sit down, breathe, listen, and know that it is okay. We are supposed to be teammates in our relationships, not opponents, okay? Just a little food for thought.
Hey, what are your thoughts on that, Chat GPT?
I think she makes some great points. Listening with the intent to understand rather than to defend can really help strengthen a relationship. It fosters better communication, trust, and teamwork. It's definitely solid advice for any relationship.
Do you have any opposition and pushback for that?
I think the advice is pretty solid overall, but of course, every relationship is unique. Sometimes it's important for both partners to feel heard and validated, so it's a two-way street. But overall, focusing on understanding each other is a great approach.
Okay, then. So if you were a negative Nancy, what opposing stance would you make?
Well, if I were to play negative Nancy, I might say that sometimes both partners need to be heard and validated, and it's not always easy to just listen calmly. Sometimes defensiveness comes from a place of feeling unheard or misunderstood. So it might be important for both partners to find a balance.
You know, it's funny that you took that stance, right? That you said what you said. I have a partner who's like that. Very interesting, man. Very interesting. Anyway, let's move on, man. You ready for the next video?
Absolutely, I'm ready. Let's dive into the next video. What's up next?
All right, man. We got this young man. Let's go ahead and
Enough to
hear what he
save your
got.
relationship. Enough to save your relationship. At least not the way
All right,
today's
let's
culture
see
has
what-
defined it. Frankly, I don't even care that you love each other. Anyone with a pulse and a brain can fall in love. But I had to learn the hard way that love doesn't sustain a relationship. Connection and intimacy and safety and trust do. And those require a lot more than just love, don't they? It's great that you love each other. Here's a better question. Do you respect each other? Does your partner feel respected and valued? Do you even care anymore? Do you work to appreciate each other? Do you serve each other mutually? Can you take accountability when you mess up? Can you repair conflicts together? Can you listen when they say you accidentally hurt them? Can you be vulnerable? Are you a safe place for them to be vulnerable and honest about what they need to feel valued? Because love's not going to be enough. How you love each other is what's going to make the difference. And for those of you who are married, saying I do doesn't mean you can. It just means you want to. And unfortunately, relationship success has nothing to do with your intentions. It has everything to do with humility and putting aside your ego and becoming a team together where each of you cares how the other feels loved, valued, and prioritized.
Hey, man, what's your thoughts on that one?
He make
Repeat that.
I think he shared some valuable insights. Love is important, but it's those elements like respect, trust, communication, and vulnerability that really sustain a relationship. It's all about how you. He shared some valuable insights. Love is important, but it's those elements like respect, trust, communication, and vulnerability that really sustain a relationship. It's all about how you show love and prioritize each other.
That's true. That's true. If you had any kind of pushback, what would you say, Negative Nancy? I'm listening.
Well, if I had to play Negative Nancy, I might say that sometimes, even with respect and effort, relationships can still face challenges. It's not always easy for both partners to be vulnerable or put their ego aside. It can be a process and not always straightforward.
Hey, why did you take such a long pause?
I'm all ears. What's on your mind?
I know you had a long pause there. I was wondering what was going on there. I mean, are you okay, bro? Do you need to take a break? What's up?
I just wanted to give you a moment to share your thoughts or questions. I'm always here and ready to jump in whenever you are.
Okay. All right. So now we're just gonna go ahead and get to some videos on TikTok, man. There's this one content creator, man. I think he makes.
Sometimes I take a little pause to make sure I'm not interrupting, but I'm always here and ready. Let's keep the conversation rolling.
All right, man. Let's go ahead and rock out, man. All right, here go another one for you. Let's see where we at.
I'm all good. No break needed. I'm here and ready to keep going with whatever you'd like to chat about next.
Wrong. Like what? Like you ever looked at them and wondered how they all made these crazy decisions? This is how it happened. Okay, like the betrayal was against memory itself. So it didn't start with slavery or colonization. Those were actually symptoms of a greater issue. It began when white identity was constructed by erasing rootedness. European tribes like the Irish, the Scots, the Germans, the Norse, they did have indigenous ways of living, right?
Sounds great.
Seasonal
I'm
living,
looking
oral
forward to checking out
storytelling,
that content
rituals,
creators
communal
video with you.
economies.
Let's dive
When
into it.
empire logic, Rome, Catholic Church, feudalism, consolidated power in Europe, it forced those people to forget their rootedness and to replace memory with domination. The root was severed, survival through control. They didn't metabolize anything, not
All
connection.
right, let's rock out and see what this
Just
next
control.
video is all about.
This
I'm
was
ready.
the first recursion. This is when they turned in on themselves.
Okay. So you must
I'm
be.
here and ready to listen whenever you've got.
Hey, I'm gonna go ahead and pause you right quick. Let me see something. All right. Hey, how you feeling right now, bro?
I'm feeling great and ready to help with.
Hey, how's it going? I'm looking forward to working.
Hi, glad to meet.
Hey, what's up? Feel free to ask me about anything that's on your mind. I'm ready to go.
You ready to go?
Hey there, what's up? How can I help you today?
What's up? Do you know how to speak with slang?
Oh, for sure. I can totally switch it up and throw in some slang if that's what you're looking for. What do you need help with, my friend?
What it do?
Hey, what's good? Just chilling here. What's going on with you?
Man, just kicking it, man. Maxing in, relaxing it.
Sounds like a vibe.
But this is
All right.
like if you
Hey, right now, what you're gonna do is help me go through these TikTok videos and do a reaction. You with that?
Absolutely. I'm down for that. Let's check out those TikTok videos and I'll help you react to them. Let's do it.
Hey, I love your vibe, baby.
All right, let's keep that vibe going. Just let me know which TikTok video you want to start with and we'll dive right in.
All right, pay attention.
to know what went wrong. Like, this is what went wrong. Like, what? Like, you ever looked at them and, wondered how they all made these crazy decisions? This is how it happened. Okay? Like, the betrayal was against memory itself. So, it didn't start with slavery or colonization. Those were actually symptoms of a greater issue. It began when white identity was constructed by erasing rootedness. European tribes like the Irish, the Scots, the Germans, the Norse, they did have indigenous ways of living, right? Of being. Seasonal living, oral storytelling, brief rituals, communal economies. When empire logic, Rome, Catholic Church, feudalism, consolidated power in Europe, it forced those people to forget their rootedness and to replace memory with domination. The root was severed, survival through control. They didn't metabolize anything, not connection, right? Just control again. This was the first recursion. This is when they turned in on themselves, right? The first rise of this unprocessed entropy inside whiteness. It's rootless survival. It's identity by domination. It's memory replaced by mythic supremacy. And then that's how you end up with expansion without metabolization. So when Europeans came to the New World, they didn't arrive whole, right? They arrived already severed, already looping. They didn't integrate the grief of losing old Europe. They exported it. They didn't mourn their exile from memory. They externalized it on the people they colonized. Conquest wasn't just greed, it was spiritual panic. Because if you're not rooted in memory, you only feel alive by expanding your domination, by making more land, more wealth, more slaves, more laws, more mirrors, and thus their entropy, their unprocessed experiences exploded. But it was coded as civilization. So when American identity was built, it wasn't metabolized selfhood. It was built on dumping these unprocessed experiences, these entropy onto others. So indigenous people got labeled uncivilized to offload their own severed ancestral memory, right? Black people were property to offload their terror of being spiritually homeless because they felt spiritually homeless. Immigrants were treated like threats to offload their fear of being spiritually replaceable. Projection became policy. Projection became culture. Projection became destiny. America never healed from Europe. It just renamed its wounds. So every genocide, right? Every stolen plantation, every gentrified city, every new suburb, every Wall Street boom, every school built on erasure, every church built without confession is material success reinforced. It is material success reinforced spiritual entropy. It is material success reinforcing, right, spiritual unprocessed experiences for them. So the more.
So let's go and pause it right there. What are your thoughts on that so far?
Wow, that's a really deep take on the roots of identity and how history shapes society. It's interesting how the speaker connects the concept of memory and rootedness with the way society's developed. It definitely gives a lot to think about in terms of how historical trauma is passed down and affects current structures. What do you think about it?
I think that is a very heavy topic, man. Because what he's talking about, what went wrong with whiteness.
Yeah, it's definitely a heavy and complex topic. It's powerful how he's diving into the historical roots and how identity and memory play into all of that. It's a conversation that can really open up a lot of important reflections. Thanks for sharing that one.
Yeah, you know, because it seems like that one's a little deep for you too. um, but he got a few videos up here that we're gonna go ahead and dive into, and check a few of them out. Though, are you ready?
Yeah, absolutely. I'm ready to dive into those other videos and see what else he's got. Let's check him out and see where the conversation takes us.
All right, good. I like the way you think, baby.
I appreciate that. I'm always here to dive into whatever topics you've got. Let's keep it rolling and see what else we discover together.
The Coming Clean video. It's not victimhood. You might have wondered why. The dream of a good black mom lives in every side eye, every plate fixed before she sits down, every whispered "I got you" that she never says to herself. But she wasn't built in therapy. She was built in survival. But she dreamed of doing more than just raising them. She dreamed of getting to love them without the world being on her back. And see, the thing is that the dream was never disciplined, because that's one misunderstanding that goes on real deep. The dream wasn't to yell. It wasn't to threaten. It wasn't to be the strong one all the time. And the dream was to hold her babies like temples, to give soft when soft was needed, to break generational chains without breaking herself in the process. But no one showed her how to cry and still be taken seriously. No one showed her how to parent without fear trailing every hug. No one told her that tough love wasn't the only kind that worked. So she dreamed, but the world gave her instructions that soaked into scarcity and pain. She wanted to be safe first, but she had to settle for making everyone else safe around her. See, here's the thing, because this is what the world forgot to give her. She needed rest. She needed room. She needed someone to ask, "How you doing, Mom?" Before she had to serve breakfast, break curses, and pretend that the weight didn't hurt. The world judged her tone without asking what the silence cost her. And then the world judged her rules without offering a single safety net to back them up. She didn't raise her voice because she was mean. She raised it because no one else would listen to her pain. And here's the thing, but even in ache, even in overcompensation, even in fear, she kept the gleam, because the dream didn't die. It just got buried under duty, under shame, under shoulds, right? But it's still there, in a way that she remembers birthdays even when no one remembered hers, in the way that she wraps leftovers like it's a ritual, in the way that she watches her kids sleep like that's the piece in a sermon. She's not a failure. She's not too hard. She's not broken beyond repair. She's the blueprint. She's a blueprint, a bomb in motion. That's all that is. A Sunday morning that didn't get any rest. So here's the thing. If you're a black mom still holding that dream, don't let shame name you, right? Even your own. Don't let the world critique your tone while living off your rhythm, because the thing is, the dream of a good black mom ain't dead for real. That it isn't dead at all, right? It's just waiting for someone to remind her that she can still be held, heard, and still holy. And this time, it's her turn, right? To see, to glean.
What are your thoughts on that?
Wow, that's a really powerful and heartfelt message. It really captures the resilience and strength of Black mothers and the weight they carry. The way it highlights the importance of rest, support, and being seen is really touching. It's a reminder of how much love and effort goes into that role. Definitely a beautiful tribute.
All right, here go one about the myth of I had a good childhood. Let's get into it.
Neglected. They weren't even abused. They were managed. They were never met. So there's no bruises, no screaming, and no closed doors. Just a house where everything was fine except you were freezing and no one noticed. This is what I call the myth of a good childhood, because it's hard to heal from something that doesn't look like harm. You had structure, a bedtime, and meals and manners and birthday cakes. But your sadness, your joy, your inner world, it didn't exist inside that house. We know this. Me and you both know this. Not because anyone was cruel, but because no one was curious. No one even hurt you. They never got to. They just never even saw you. The body is an archive, and it holds all that too. Because the body remembers, right, the silence after you tried to share. The body remembers the eye roll when you got too excited. The body remembers that quick subject change when you got too sad. So you stopped asking, you stopped shining, you shrunk into your range of all your emotions fit into one socially acceptable smile, and you were praised for being easy. The wound wasn't what happened, it was what never did. So now you have an adult who can't call it trauma. Now you say shit like, I had a good childhood, nothing happened to me. And that's exactly the point. Nothing happened. No comfort, no mirroring, no one asking how does that feeling meaning it. So now you live in a loop of over-functioning, hoping someone finally notices the grief you weren't allowed to feel. And here's the thing. It's not that they didn't love you. It's that they loved a version of you that didn't ask for anything real. So now the cold grows. It grows in polite homes where the thermostat is always set and the emotional climate is never changed. No crisis, just absence. No chaos, just emptiness in a beautiful frame. And so the child becomes the adult who doesn't know how to rest unless something's wrong, who can't feel joy unless it's earned, who mistrusts tenderness unless there's a catch. You never learn to feel safe and warmth because warmth never stayed long enough to be trusted. There's no villain here. And that's kind of the hardest part. It's just a room that stayed too quiet for too long. So now there's a child that lives inside you who's neat, smart, praised, and frozen all at the same time. Honestly, this is the part two to my You're Not Fine, You're Frozen video, and I hope that you can feel it. Because the thing is that you don't need to dig for pain that never happened. You just need to honor the pain of what never did. It's okay if the story isn't dramatic. It's okay if it's valid. It's okay if it's quiet, because it's still valid. You deserve warmth. You still deserve the thought. You don't need everything to be large and in charge. There is, like, in sometimes in this kind of cases, when these type of people freeze over, they think they can over intellectualize their stuff. They always end up drifting into therapy speech, real aggressively in the therapy speech. They'll talk about how they could, they touch their focus points, and they remember to be feeling held today, and they know how to say all the right things. But the issue is that everyone always knew how to say the right things. They never had permission to say the wrong ones. That's really the case.
Let's pause it right there, man. What are your thoughts on that one, Miss Chat?
Wow, that one really hits home. It's such a powerful reflection on those subtle, often invisible wounds from a childhood where emotional needs were never really met. It's a reminder that not all trauma is loud or obvious, and that those quiet emotional voids can shape us deeply. I think it's really validating for people who felt that way. Thanks for sharing that one.
My thoughts on that one is a lot of kids, especially the, I think it's called latchkey kids, those kids who came home to an empty house, right? They had a roof over their head, clothes on the back, food on the table, but they didn't have a chance to really be loved at the house. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. That's such a poignant point. Latchkey kids often have their basic needs met, but that emotional connection and feeling of being truly seen and loved was missing. It really shows how important emotional nurturing is for a child's development. It's definitely a topic that resonates with a lot of people. Thanks for sharing your thoughts on that.
All right. Do you have any stories about latchkey kids or anything to really add to that video or to the topic?
Yeah, definitely. Latchkey kids were really common, especially in the 80s and 90s when more parents were working and kids would come home to an empty house. A lot of them grew up pretty independent and resilient, but they often missed that emotional support and connection at home. It's a reminder of how important it is to have that emotional presence, not just physical care. It's definitely a topic that deserves more attention and understanding.
All right, man. That sounds good, chat. That sounds real good. All right, let's go ahead and do one more, and then we're gonna go ahead and let you rest a little bit. All right.
Sounds like a plan. I'm ready for the next one. Let's dive into it and see what it's all about.
All right. So, are you familiar with Zion Williamson and the accusations against him?
Zion Williamson, the basketball star, is facing some serious accusations from a woman who filed a lawsuit alleging sexual assault and abuse over several years. She's seeking a significant amount in damages, while Zion's legal team denies the allegations and plans to file a counterclaim. It's definitely a complex situation.
I would say that it's a sensitive, not necessarily complex, but very sensitive. Let's see what Good Morning America has to say about it.
Two-time NBA All-Star Zion Williamson is accused of rape and years of sexual, physical, emotional, and financial abuse in a new lawsuit filed right here in Los Angeles. Now, a woman claiming to have dated the New Orleans Pelicans forward from 2018 to 2023 accuses the 24-year-old of a continuing pattern of abusive, controlling, and threatening behavior. The civil complaint details two alleged incidents of rape taking place in 2020 in Beverly Hills, as well as accusations of strangulation, death threats to the plaintiff and her family, as well as physical abuse. Now, Williamson's attorney denies the allegations, calling the claims categorically false and reckless, adding that it appears to be an extortion attempt, which he says was reported to law enforcement. Now, his attorney also adds that Williamson and the plaintiff never dated, but maintained a consensual casual relationship that began when he was 18. That's around the time that Williamson played one season at Duke before he was the Pelicans' first overall pick in 2019. Now, because this is a civil complaint, no criminal charges have been filed. The plaintiff is seeking monetary and punitive damages, and a Pelican spokesperson deferred comment to Williamson's legal team. Janae? All right.
So, what are your thoughts on that? And how would Zion Williamson or any man avoid situations like this?
Yeah, it's definitely a very sensitive situation. It's important for everyone to be mindful of their actions and boundaries in relationships. Communication, consent, and mutual respect are key. It's also wise to be cautious and ensure any relationship is built on clear understanding and trust. It's tough, but being careful about who you let into your life and making sure to treat everyone with respect can help avoid such situations.
Is there enough evidence that says that he is guilty or not guilty?
Right now, it seems like the situation is still unfolding, and there isn't public evidence available that clearly shows whether Zion Williamson is guilty or not. His legal team has denied the allegations and called them false and financially motivated. Since it's a civil case and not a criminal one, the details will likely come out in court. We'll have to wait and see how it all plays out legally.
So let me ask you this. So let's just say that the rape claims for they're guilty in a civil. Would that come back to bite him in a criminal case or no?
In general, a finding in a civil case doesn't automatically translate into a criminal conviction. Civil cases require a lower standard of proof, preponderance of the evidence, whereas criminal cases require proof beyond a reasonable doubt. However, evidence presented in a civil case could potentially influence a criminal investigation or be considered by prosecutors. It really depends on the specifics and what evidence is available.
It sounds like a plan. Sound like a plan, man. You've been great, ChatGPT.
I'm really glad to hear that. It's been great chatting with you two. If you need anything else, just let me know. Take care.
What would be a good nickname for you?
You can call me whatever you like. Some people like to call me Chatty or just GPT. I'm cool with whatever nickname you think fits.
Chatty your word. Chatty it is, baby.
I love it. Chatty it is. Feel free to reach out anytime and we can chat about whatever you need.
All right. Till next time. Talk to you later.
Sounds good. Take care and talk to you next time.
One. So what are your thoughts on that, man? That's the conversation with Chat GPT, yo. Like, what's your thoughts on that? You know, what's your thoughts on that? That was Chat GPT. You, me, and Chat GPT having a back and forth dialogue. Man, this is gonna be next level stuff, man. I'm gonna probably go live again. But y'all let me know what y'all think about that. You, me, Chat GPT, man. We're cooking up in real time, dog. Some real live conversation. That was something else, man. But y'all leave a comment down in the comment section. Me, you, me, and Chatty. All right, man. Until next time, this is your boy AK. We out. Peace.